Well, hello everyone, and welcome to Chef Shelley's Kitchen. We are now into 2017. So first of all, I just pray that everyone have an amazing new year. I hope that you have a lot to reflect on from 2016 and hopes and dreams for 2017. So we're actually preparing for a party today. And I thought, it would be good perhaps to show my guests in particular how to make what I've come to know as my world famous barbecue wingettes. And I get, whenever I have a party, everyone needs a wingettes. They want the wingettes. And what's particular about these wingettes is that when you eat them, the meat basically falls off the bone. So I'm going to talk a little bit about how to get it to that place. And so we're going to obviously be taping this in a couple of different pieces. I'm going to first of all just go about the business of seasoning it with salt and pepper. And again, here's where your variety comes into play. And then what we're going to do, I'm going to just add some water to make sure it kind of covers it. And then I've set the oven to 375. And I don't want it on 400 or 425 because then it's going to cook too fast. So again, the key here is to cook it on a moderate heat, but cook it for a long time. And we're going to cook it for at least 2 hours at least. I always know when it's ready, just again, as I said, I can tell the bones have, or the meat's ready to be pulled off the bones. So I'll put it in, we're going to time it, and that'll help gauge it. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to start with just kind of this first layer of just salting it. I mean, I just kind of know if you put, some generous salt on it. And we're going to toss it around some so that it can spread. So I'm going to do the same thing with the pepper. Again, just be very kind of generous because we are actually going to be doing this again. I'm going to just kind of toss it around a little bit. Make sure the whole thing is coated. And I like having the non-flour kind. Sometimes people still put flour on them. There's all kinds of different ways that you can go about this. I personally prefer just to cook it like this. Again, this is going to be the healthier version. So all I'm doing is just tossing it around, making sure the salt and pepper is spread. And then I'm going to be adding water to cover it mostly. One thing you'll note is that I actually don't put the barbecue sauce on it until it's actually almost done. And then I put the barbecue sauce on it. So just little variations to get it, excuse me, to that right place. Okay, so tossing it around. Now I'm going to do again just kind of checking my stove over here. Looks good. So let's sprinkle some more pepper. And I've got 2 trays. I've got a party of 12 today. So really excited about it. We've got some goodies that I'm actually going to be serving. So this is just kind of one of those dishes that I like to serve. So again, you're just going to toss it around just to spread the salt and pepper. Okay? And I think that's pretty generous. We flip these over. Okay, next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add the water. So I'm just going to kind of add it on the side. I'm not pouring it over it because I do want to cook it for a long period of time. I'm going to be pretty generous with the water. So I'm not going to cover it with it completely, but it's about 3/4 of the way. Okay. And then I always add water if I need to. And then the other thing is you can always take water off if you want, okay? So if you can see, it's about halfway filled with water. And as I said, it's going to be cooking. And then I can add more if I need to. So with that, I'm going to take these both down, put them in my oven. Again, it's going to cook for several hours. I'll come back and show you kind of the texture of it, you should take it out, and I'll also kind of give you some timing around that, okay? So for now, let's just put it on pause, and then we'll come back when it's ready to come out of the oven. Okay, we're back now. These wings have been in the oven for 2.5 hours, and I'm ready to put them back in for another 30 minutes. But what I wanted to do was show you how they look, and then we're going to apply my secret weapon. We're going to put them back in the oven, and then I'll show them one last time. So if you take a look, most of the water, of course, has evaporated. You still have some water, and you need to have that juice because that's where the barbecue sauce is going to come into play. But you can see, I mean, basically you could eat them like this. If I pick them up, you can see how the meat pretty much, you know, is, it's basically just kind of, if I pulled it apart, you can see it's coming apart. And so that gives you a sense for kind of the texture, okay? So what we're gonna do, I have one pan here, I've got another pan over there. I'm gonna just do this particular one. And we're gonna just spread it over. We're gonna spread it nice and thick because the water basically has to turn into barbecue sauce. And so you want to kind of move them around a little bit in the pan, make sure the sauce is kind of spread throughout. And then again, as I said, we're going to put them back in the oven, and I'm going to say it'll stay in there for at least 35 more minutes. And you might be saying, but they're already done. I know, this is how it just comes out to be totally delicious. So you're going to, again, make sure it's coated really well with the barbecue sauce like so. I'm going to raise it up, and we're going to put it back in the oven, and we're going to put it in for at least another 30 minutes, okay? So stay tuned. Okay, so as promised, I kept the drumettes, wingettes in the oven for another 30 minutes, and I just want to kind of show you a picture of what it looks like. So you can see much of the water again has turned into a barbecue sauce, and it's very tender. I'm not going to do a sample, it's very hot. I just took it out of the oven, but wanted you to see. And as you can see, there are a bunch of pots in the back. Actually, I've got my rice, black-eyed peas, collard greens, cornbread, and our chicken, and we are going to be grubbing on this New Year's Day. So thanks again for tuning in. Everyone's always wanted to know, how did I make my chicken so tender? There you have it. I hope you enjoy it. Take care. Share, share, share. Bye-bye.